Alrighty, folks. Let's go ahead and get this one started. What is going on, everybody? This is Justin Martinez, aka Jay the Sports Dude, coming to y'all live from my apartment. Hopefully, you all are staying at your homes as well, practicing social distancing and staying safe during this pandemic, and I'm here to provide y'all with a little bit of extra entertainment. That's right, folks. It is time for New Mexico State versus Grand Canyon, round number 2 of the quote-unquote rivalry between these two squads from last season, and it's part of our over month-long journey to go back and watch as many of these games from the Aggies' 2019-2020 campaign as possible, with the exception of a couple that we've had some copyright claim issues with, but we've been good so far, and we're here on the home stretch. The Aggies are currently 13-0 in conference play, hoping to improve to 14-0 with a road game against the Lopes over in Phoenix, Arizona. And for those who might be a little bit confused, if you caught me just a couple minutes ago, I had started a live stream for the Cal State Bakersfield game. For some reason, when you go on NM Aggie Athletic Archive, their channel, they have all of them in order because they upload like a day after the game. But for some reason, they had Cal State Bakersfield and then Grand Canyon. So I guess they had just taken a while to upload that other one. So anyways, I've just been going for the very next game. So I clicked on the Cal State Bakersfield one. And then as soon as I looked up I was trying to find the box score for that Cal State Bakersfield game, and I realized that the Grand Canyon game happened prior to that. I had just gotten it mixed up. So I ended that live stream, and now we are starting this one up here. So apologies for the confusion. But now we are all set. I'd only watched like a minute of that Cal State Bakersfield game, so it's all good. And we're going to watch that tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. But before that, we have this game against the Lopes. And let me go ahead and change the title of this video because it does say versus Cal State Bakersfield. Let's see. Versus Grand Canyon. Game 2. Got it. We are good to go. Karen Montano, good evening. Justin, how was your 4th of July? Mine was good. Hopefully yours was good as well. Didn't do anything special, but just got to rest up and just get my internal clock back after a couple of really late nights, back to back with the mailbag and stray shooter and all that stuff. So yeah, it was mostly sleeping for me, but hopefully you had a good one. And glad to get back to these live streams. We're here on the home stretch with this one against Grand Canyon. This is another game that I got to travel out to. Made the trip, the 6 hours and change drive to Phoenix. And I will say it's definitely not the biggest stadium by any means for Grand Canyon, but the atmosphere, I'll give it to them. The crowd shows up, especially that student section. I believe I was behind these people, so I was in the upper deck going that way, because I think the half-court logo was upside down for me. But yeah, I was right next to the student section, and they were loud the whole way, especially pregame. So it was a cool atmosphere. I'm glad I got to go out to this one for sure. You see Evan with the basketball here, hits him with the pump fake, feeling his way into the lane and finishing. The patience down low by the junior point guard. It's 2-0 Aggies right now. Blackshear with the ball, almost gets turned over. Johnson going there, and we're going to have a foul on Johnny. Are they calling a foul or just out of bounds? Let's see. I believe they're calling a foul on Johnny. Yep. Lopes basketball right now. Johnson the inbound, gets it down low to Alessandro Lever out of Blackshear. Yeah, I had actually just started. The reason why this live stream started a little late is because I had a mix-up where I started to watch the Cal State Bakersfield game, which is after this Grand Canyon one. But for some reason on NM Aggie Athletic Archive on their channel, Cal State Bakersfield game is before Grand Canyon. So that was just mixed up, and I had just been following along in terms of their uploads. So I didn't think to double check it. I probably should have. So that's my bad. But I only got like a minute into that game, and then and I looked up the box score and then quickly realized that the Grand Canyon game was before, and so I ended the live stream, downloaded this video, and now we're here. But yeah, no, this was a cool game to go out to. We've got Evan set to inbound the basketball here. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. Mine's been pretty low key. I haven't been doing anything. This is really the only work thing that I've had to do today, other than just get like the paper set up with design and all that, which I've been doing this week with my editor gone. But yeah, today's kind of like my last really chill day, and then tomorrow we've got the interview with Sean Buchanan. I'll be gathering Aggie mailbag questions that day as well for the next 2 weeks, and I'll also be trying to interview somebody else for the following week of Stray Shooter. I'll just leave it up to Sean, whoever he wants to recommend when I talk to him tomorrow. And yeah, the rest of this week, or this upcoming week, will just be all setting stuff up for the following week when I'm on vacation. So today is just catching up on sleep, all that good stuff, getting ready for all that. So you got Evan driving, and he will get fouled. So already, former UTEP leading scorer, very aggressive so far. As he will get 2 free throws here. Look at Trevelyan Queen. Had a pretty decent game against UTRGV, still working his way back to where he was prior to his injury. However, I want to say this was his game where he really broke out. You could see that he was at least close to back to where he was before this injury. First one is good by Evan. One more on the way. I haven't even looked at this live stream. Am I in the screen? Yeah, okay, cool. Looks good, looks good. Second one is up for Evan. Got it to go down. 4-0. Aggie's over the Lopes, and a little bit of pressure right now from Evan, but he's going to retreat. Yeah, I really like the atmosphere at this Grand Canyon game. I don't know what the attendance was. I can't imagine it was very much. Tobias Rodriguez says good morning, or good evening, everyone, I should say. Good to see you, Tobias. Hopefully you're doing well, man. Let's see what the attendance was. It couldn't have been more than like 7K. They got it at 7,155. Interesting. Yeah, not the biggest place, but they do pack it. At least for this game, with it being a rivalry game. I don't know how packed it gets for some of these other games, but for this one, they showed up. So got the Aggies with a 6-0 lead. Fans showed up, but as of right now, the Lopes have not. They trail. 3 minutes in, haven't gotten on the scoreboard yet. And Gilliard is going to take this one up the court. Down to Johnny, the kick out. Evan thought about it for a second. They're going to swing this round a little bit more. 14 on the shot clock. Jabari with the ball. Gets it down low to Yvonne. A matchup between the two best bigs in the WAC. And he wins that one. Him and Alessandro Lever, they'll be going at it all night. After Yvonne convincingly took round 1. And these two squads played at the Pan American Center. Alessandro Lever held to, I think it was something like 4 points, something around there. Was not much. Beautiful pass there by Evan. That to me is what really shows the growth of Evan as a passer, because he got off to a hot start here. At first, had some early buckets, the hot hand, and yet still he didn't get carried away and go up strong for that one. He decided to make that extra pass to Yvonne, and it was the better look. So that's good. That's something he said he'd really fought with Jans the first couple weeks when he got here, was having to sacrifice his points production just for the better of the team. And you can see right there that is something to really build on, is making that smart pass to Yvonne. You see a look at the WAC standings. New Mexico State looking to improve to 14-0. Cal Baptist not eligible for the tournament, so Seattle at this time was the 2 seed, but very close. A lot of teams moved around in these final 3 games or so, with UTRGV eventually becoming the 2 seed. Look at head coach Chris Jans. Aggies with the comfortable 10-0 lead right now. .15 on the clock. Again, I am talking to Sean Buchanan tomorrow for the latest episode of Stray Shooter. I don't know who will be the guest the following week when I'm gone, because I will be on vacation for all of the following week. But I'll leave that up to Sean to decide, and I'll announce it on Twitter and all that kind of stuff, and on the live stream the next night. And then tomorrow I'll start collecting questions for Aggie Mailbag. But if you guys have any right now, feel free to comment some right now. It would be really appreciated because as we see Jabari driving and thriving, because like I said, I will be gone the following week, and I want to get an Aggie Mailbag episode already recorded and ready to go for you guys to just release while I'm gone. So this week I'm looking to gather like twice the amount of questions, one for this week's episode and one for next week's. So if you guys can send in a question, multiple questions, I'd appreciate it. I just ask you, if you do send in multiple questions, make it one per comment, because what I like to do for the video is I take a screenshot of the question and I put it up on the screen, and it just looks a lot better if it's the one question that I'm reading, as opposed to like some people will send me 5 questions and I'm only reading one of them for the sake of time. So yeah, you can send me multiple comments, but just hold it to one question per comment if you could. We see Trevelyan Queen with the left wing 3, no good. This one should go to Lopes' way, and it does. 12-2 right now. Aggies in front. Double-digit lead already, right out the gate. So you see Trev getting a rest here. Von Blackshear Jr. with the ball, the soon-to-be WAC Freshman of the Year winner. Had a really solid season, a true freshman for Grand Canyon, and already one of the better passers in the conference. As you see him kicking it out to Lever, he can hit that, and he will. The big man from Italy, I believe, knocking it down. And already off to a much better start for him individually than that first matchup. Jabari to pump fake. And Yvonne will slow this one down. No foul called. Looked like a clean rip. Carlos Johnson going the other way. Somebody who just graduated for the Lopes. It was really close between him and Alessandro Lever for the leading scorer. I don't know who it ended up being. I know early on it was Johnson, but I want to say down the stretch it became Lever. But either way, a go-to scorer for this team this past season. We saw Blackshear with the putback there. Not really known for a scorer, Von Blackshear, so interested in seeing what he does this upcoming season. I would expect most of the points that, as we see Edwin with the D3, I would expect most of Carlos Johnson's points to be replaced by like Mikey Dixon. I could see him having a good year. He was on the All-WAC newcomer team. As opposed to somebody like Blackshear, I think he's going to remain more of a facilitator than a scorer. But you see right there, that's an easy bucket for him. He's in the right place at the right time. That ball really fell into his hands, and he just gets the putback. 12-7, New Mexico State. 13-10 on the clock. Evan getting a breather. Now it's Sean Buchanan running the offense. Looking forward to talking to him tomorrow. We were going to talk on Friday, I believe. But he's working somewhere. I didn't know that, but he has a job somewhere. And he was working overtime that day, which he wasn't expecting to, so that's why we had to delay it. Which is no problem. We already set up a time and everything for tomorrow, so it's all good. And that's still way ahead of schedule. Normally I don't talk to guys until Monday or Tuesday. So it's all good. Laxer with the ball here. Don't really have a whole lot of depth at that one spot, so Laxer's going to be playing most of this game. I'm sure he'll be playing most of the games this upcoming season. Thought about the 3-ball there and said he's going to get it to Lever. Swinging it around to Johnson. That's good D by Trev, but it is going to be out on, I believe, CJ. Is that who they're calling it out on? Johnson, somebody who had a stellar run in last season's WAC tournament in Vegas. I don't remember the exact stat because I didn't cover that tournament. I didn't get the job until this year, but he was averaging something around 20 points per game. He was lighting it up. I think he was like 19, somewhere around there. And had another good season this year as a senior. Turnover there, going the other way. Tobias Rodriguez, is Sean still here in Cruces or back home in Mississippi? I believe he's still here. I know as of like a month ago, I was just see Lever with the bucket. As of a month ago, he was here because he was part of those protests, the Black Lives Matter protests that the team went out and did. And I want to say he's still here in Cruces. As we see Terrell, Cash Money. Yeah, a good amount of the team is still here. Only guys that are gone, I know Will for sure is back in Philly. AJ's back in Ohio. Jabari's been going back and forth from Houston. He's back in Houston right now, but he's only been going like a week at a time. For the most part, he's going to be in Cruces this summer. And yeah, I want to say that's it. Trev back in Maryland, but I mean, he's graduated, so he wouldn't have to stay here. Yeah, for the most part, everybody's still here right now. 15-9, because they do have the gyms open for New Mexico State. It's just very limited to where it's one player at a time for an hour, and it's just a sign-up sheet that you got to do. But that's a big reason why a lot of them have been staying, is just so that way they can have access to the gym. And also, they don't want to get on the planes. Like, Sean would obviously have to fly to Mississippi. Who else is there on the squad? A lot of guys would have to take flights, and they don't want to right now, which is understandable. Shout out once again to NM Aggie Athletic Archive for providing this video. If you guys haven't checked out their channel, make sure to go do so. Show them some love. You wouldn't be able to do all of these live streams without them. Is this interview going to last much longer? Should I skip it? Normally, they do a good job of editing all this stuff out, but these past couple games, they haven't. So, I mean, it isn't too big of a deal. Yeah, this is going to last a while. Oh, right there. Cool. 15-9, New Mexico State with 11-10 left in this first half. Aggies got out to the early lead. Grand Canyon just now starting to get things going. You got Terrell waiting for it. There you go. Open look, no good though. Trev with the offensive rebound. That bounce, that explosiveness, not really something that we saw these past couple games as he was working his way back after coming back ahead of schedule from his injury. So that's a good sign right there. And he did have a nice poster dunk at some point in this game. I want to say the second half that we'll see as well, which I wish I'd gotten on video, but I didn't. Sean Buchanan with the basketball, gets it to Terrell, right back. Then to Johnny, look at the ball movement, CJ. Hey, that's a good look though. And once again, the offensive board by Trev, no good, but it's Johnny with the putback, and he is hurt here. Looked like he just landed a little bit awkwardly. He did come back from this game. I think he was only out a couple of minutes, I want to say. But it looks like it was that left ankle that he appeared to land on. We'll see if we get a replay. Yeah, we do. Good offensive rebound by Trev, and then put back. Maybe that, yeah, the left ankle. I think he got tangled up a little bit with CJ down low. So he will get checked out on the bench and return in a couple minutes. Lever with the basketball here, gets it to Blackshear. Right back to him, under 9 on the clock. The double team. Ooh, tried like a behind the back between the leg type of thing there. Pull up, good D by Trev, and the shot clock violation. Already, you can see he's so much more active on defense compared to the last couple games. Really, he was just out there to get his rhythm back, but you can kind of tell he wasn't a factor defensively these past couple games because of that lack of just quickness. But right now, sticking to his defenders like glue, getting up there for the offensive rebounds is a really good sign for Trev. Yvonne working down low, the hook shot, no good, and speaking of which, I mean, just dominant on the glass right now. Calling it off right here. I do have it on mute, guys, so that way you guys can hear what I'm saying, but for that reason, I'm a little bit lost on some of this. Let's see what we got here. What would they be calling here? There wasn't any goaltending. He didn't touch it on the way down, but are they saying was he hanging on the rim too long? I think that's what it was. It's a little bit of taunting, they're calling it. Really? He had to have said something. Because to me, you can hang on the rim a little bit longer if you want to make sure your landing area is cleared out and there was somebody next to him. If he said something, sure, but I don't personally think that was too long on the rim. Let me know what y'all think about that. We got Johnson with the basketball here. A little shot down low, good. He has the advantage on Jabari. We saw that in the first meeting. He's got a lot more strength than Jabari. So although Johnson can hit those 3-point shots, I would expect him to take it to the rack a lot this game, similar to what we saw in the first meeting. As Jabari did add a little bit of muscle for this season, however, still has a ways to go. Sean Buchanan with the basketball here, gets it to Terrell Brown, top of the arc. Someone's going to have to put this up. It's CJ, and it is no good. Yet another board, an offensive rebound for the Aggies. And they're going to slow this down a bit here. Actually, that's wide open. Once again, no good. Aggies are getting good looks right now from deep, but they have not fallen yet. Cameron Montagne was hanging on the rim and looked at the guard. Yeah, I'm guessing it was more so, I guess, a stare down or some words or something. Because it looked to me like he didn't hang too long. That's just me, though. Ooh. A dirty fake there to get Terrell in the air. Either way, though, yet another offensive rebound for Trev. Great start for him. Let's see. I am texting my editor right now, guys, so I apologize if I'm looking down at my phone. As always, for those who follow this live stream, you know I'm always talking to somebody for some work-related stuff. Cool. You see Javon Blackshear Jr. there with the rip on Yvonne. Right place, right time on the putback. There's a little bit of everything for him, and then Alessandro Lever, the go-to. The big man who can extend his range. Go to work down low. An eventual all-WAC second-team selection and somebody who is coming back this upcoming season for the Aggies, I expect him to be an all-WAC first-team selection. Maybe even compete for the WAC Player of the Year. We'll see what happens with him. He's going to have all the opportunities in the world now with Carlos Johnson gone, and Javon Blackshear Jr. not really going to be someone who's going to take up points. He's more so going to feed Alessandro a lot. Although I think Mikey Dixon is somebody to keep an eye on. For sure. Right now it is 21-14 in favor of the Aggies. They've been in control since tip-off, getting out to that quick 10-0 lead. Now they're up 7. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Finds Jabari. He's going to have to put it up from deep. Almost banks it in. And yet another offensive rebound. That's got to be what, like number 3 for Trev, 1 for Johnny, 2 for Yvonne. It's got to be like 6 or 7. Make that 7 or 8 now with Jabari getting that. The Aggies had a lot of games in WAC play where they had single-digit offensive rebounds, and that was something Jans is really looking to correct. They've already got 7 in this one. We're not even really close to halftime. Still almost 7 minutes left. Plus another 20. Alessandro Lever, good move down low. And that one fall. Aggies did a really good job of bringing in help defense on Lever anytime he got the ball down low. In that first matchup, you saw it was a lot of the guards. Sean Buchanan, Jabari Rice, Terrell Brown. Anytime Lever got the ball down low, they'd apply a little bit of pressure. Because Grand Canyon doesn't have a whole lot of three-point shooters. For example, if somebody's guarding Javon Blackshear, who only shot around, I think like 27-28% from 3 last season, if Sean Buchanan's guarding him and Lever gets the ball down low, you can go ahead and cave in there because you'll take that if Blackshear shoots a 3 ball. You'd much rather take that over Lever shooting it down low. That was the strategy in this first meeting. The Lever's been getting out to a good start right now. 24-16 in favor of New Mexico State. 6:09 on the clock. Johnny already back in the game, so only out for a little bit. It looked like he did just tweak his ankle. Good to see him back out there because injuries, probably the big takeaway from last season for New Mexico State, the headline, if you will, was just overcoming all these injuries, and definitely having Johnny out would have hurt a lot. Let me pull up this first half box score so that we can look at that once we do reach halftime. As you see the bucket there, is that Lever again? Yes, sir. He's feeling it. Vaughn down low. That's the matchup of the game. The 2 best big men in the WAC. Yvonne going on to be an all-WAC first-team selection. Alessandro Lever, second team. Trev with the steal, almost. Going the other way, it is a wide-open 3 ball, cash money. It's only a 6-point game now, folks. 1 for 11 shooting from deep for the Aggies. Jeez. And they've been good looks. Like, I'm not mad at that look by Evan. It's been decent looks. They have not fallen. Look like both Johnny and Trev going for the ball there. The touch around the rim, the range. Lever really does it all. And then Carlos Johnson, too good of a shooter to leave open. From anywhere on the court, he's going to knock that down. You got no foul there, but Yvonne, it looked like he almost kicked that ball out. Did he kick that? Either way, it's going to be Lopes basketball. Let's see this. It looked like he kicked it. They're not going to show it. Yeah, Johnson's too good of a three-point shooter to leave open. His release isn't the quickest after looking at that. As we see Trev, active defense. The windup is really long. As you see a beautiful pass by Jabari to Yvonne. You love to see that when your big men are running down the court on the fast break. They're hustling, and Jabari rewards them there. Yeah, that windup really starts like below his waist. But I guess with him being wide open, he had all the time to line up his shot there. Good D by Trev. Nice pass to Yvonne. Aggie's sharing the basketball really well, and they have the lead. Let's skip through all this. Cool. New Mexico State up 8. 3:48 on the clock. Once we get to halftime, we will look up the first half box score, per usual. Ron can't handle that pass. Ooh, Trev, a little step back. Got it to go. You tell. Just a different energy in these past couple games. That quickness on that little stutter, the sidestep. Just that burst. Not really something that he had the past couple games. And of course, this is one of those matchups that the Aggies look forward to. The one they look forward to the most in WAC play. So maybe that brings a little bit something extra out of the players as well. And it's funny because you would assume that it brings something different out of the players because it's a rivalry, but I think it's the players, it brings something else out of them because they want to prove that it's not a rivalry. You know what I mean? Like, so we see Jabari Rice with getting another good find to Johnny. I think that's the way that the team approaches it. Because they don't look at it as a rivalry. They look at it like this shouldn't be a rivalry, you know? With how lopsided the series is. They really thrive off of kind of shutting that down every time they play. As we got a good charge drawn by Yvonne. You see the elbow there. Didn't extend it, but maybe a little bit of a sub from the Spaniard, and that gets the call. A 13-point game now. Grand Canyon already with 6 turnovers. Just 3 for the Aggies. That's good. Anytime they keep it in single digits for a game, that's considered a win. Yvonne with the ball down low. Double team coming. He's going to find the open man. Oh, he get it stolen from first. Wide open 3, no good. And I believe, is that Mikey? No, it's not Mikey. Either way, an and one here. Let's see, number 13 for Grand Canyon. I don't know all the names. This is Lorenzo Jenkins. So Lorenzo Jenkins with one more free throw here. Karen Montano, who do you think in the WAC is the best player this upcoming season? That's a good one. I would like to put that in the mailbag so that I can really get into that. I'll just list a couple off the top of my head right now. Let's see. So Jabari Rice up there. Who else is an all-WAC first team selection that's returning? It was Jabari. Milan, Terrell Brown from Seattle, Ivan Audikoechea, and Leslie Varner. So, yeah, Jabari's the only returning all-WAC first-team guy. Other guys at the top of the list, I would say Alessandro Lever is going to be up there. I would say Javon Levi, even though he's not going to be putting up as many points as these other guys, I think you could argue that he's going to be just as impactful with what he does on the defensive side of the ball and with the fact that he's one of the better passers in the country, just when you look at the advanced stats. I guess that's my short list right now. So I'm trying to think of other guys who are coming back. We see a deep ball by Jabari. Johnny, I would put like right outside of that top three. I think he's up there too. Seattle's not returning anybody big. Utah Valley lost Isaiah White. He would have been up there, but he's at USC now. UMKC's gone. Cal State Bakersfield is gone. Chicago State, I don't see anybody coming out of there. Grand Canyon, I think it's Lever. ETRWE, Texas State top. Yeah. I would say my top four, just off the top of my head, is Jabari, Lever, Javon Levi, and Johnny. And yeah, I'll get more into it. Yeah, he says save it for Aggie mailbag. Yeah, I'll get more into my actual pick. But yeah, appreciate that. That's definitely a good one that I can use for Aggie mailbag. I'm trying to think of a fifth option. Yeah, I'll have to look into that more. Those are just the ones that immediately came off the top of my head. 6 seconds left right now. Evan driving the block. Johnny, one last chance. Oh, didn't have to tip it. Oh, I think that would have rimmed in. I think that would have fallen without it. Can we see a replay? I don't remember this play at all, honestly. Let's see. Johnny's going to get his shot up in time, clearly. It was falling out. It was falling out. Obviously offensive interference, but either way, that is halftime. Let's take a quick look at these first half statistics. Scroll over here. For New Mexico State, it is Ivan Audikoechea, the team high 8 points, 2 rebounds on 4 for 6 shooting. 7 points for Trevelyan Queen to go along with 4 rebounds, 3 of which are offensive rebounds. So really good first half for him. And then 3 players with 6 points apiece. That's Johnny McCants, Evan Gilliard, and Terrell Brown. 4 turnovers for the Aggies. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. 15 for 33 shooting from the floor. That's 45.5% for the Aggies. 3 for 15 from deep. Pretty abysmal shooting, even though they've had open looks. Just one of those nights where it's not falling so far. That's 20% shooting. And then 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. Perfect 100%. A look at Grand Canyon. A game high 9 points for Alessandro Lever. Really a bounce back game after a poor performance in that first matchup. He also has 1 steal, 0 rebounds, which is a bit surprising. On 4 for 4 shooting, he's perfect so far. And then the second leading scorer is 5 points for Carlos Johnson to go along with 1 steal on 2 for 7 shooting. And let's see. 7 turnovers for Grand Canyon. So good defense by New Mexico State. 41.7% shooting, that's 10 for 24. They're also 2 for 9 from deep, which is 22.2%. Both teams struggling from behind the arc. And the Lopes are 3 for 4 from the free throw line, which is 75%. I did just get another text from my editor, so I apologize. Let me get this done real quick. Very cool. All right. We are going to skip this. Sorry, Dan. Sorry to do that to you. Now we got the final 20 minutes. It's a 12-point lead for New Mexico State, 37-25. deep 2 by Lever, no good. Trev with his 5th rebound of the game. Now the Aggies are going the other way. Good save by Vaughn. Yet another offensive rebound. Let me see how many offensive rebounds the Aggies have too. So I want to say that's like number 9 for them. It's number 12 for them already. Jeez. Just dominating the glass. That's been the big difference. Carlos Johnson going the other way, and he will slow this one down wisely. Look at those 3-point field goal percentages. Not good for either squad so far. Those extra opportunities still giving New Mexico State a 12-point lead with 1 minute off the clock in this second half. So we got a foul here. It looked like, is that what that was? Looked like Carlos Johnson getting a little too physical with Jabari. He does have that physical advantage, but knocks him to the ground there and gets called. Open 3 by Evan. He's going to pass this up, swing it around. Beautiful pass to Jabari. Airballs it. And yet another offensive rebound. That's sort of been the story as Jabari Rice with the and one. That's really been the story of this whole game. An open look by New Mexico State from deep. It doesn't fall, but it doesn't matter because they get the board and the points anyways. That really sums it all up pretty nicely. We got a 14-point lead for New Mexico State with 1 free throw pending for the Houston Boiler, the redshirt sophomore, Jabari Rice. It is up. Cash money. 15-point lead, 18:36 on the clock. Aggies bringing some pressure already. Forced, 7 turnovers in the first half. Good job by Blackshear to break that press on his own. Somebody who handles the ball really well. Really good ball security, especially for a true freshman. Something that impressed me a lot when I was watching him. Johnson wants it down low, but a little miscommunication on where he was going to be. And that will be a turnover. Good rip there. And they're saying Blackshear was stepping out of bounds when he tried to save that. So we'll stick with New Mexico State. Appreciate everybody for tuning into this. Whether you guys are watching this live or on playback, it means a lot to me. If you guys are enjoying this, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notification bells, all that good stuff. As I was going to say, we're going to have this going for a while, but we're here on the home stretch, folks. Just 2 more games after this as that one rims out for Trev. A road game against Cal State Bakersfield, and then history on the line against Cal Baptist. Trying to go undefeated 16-0. First team to ever go 16-0 in WAC play for basketball. Yeah, it's been over a month of doing these live streams. We had some time where we had to take off. We were trying to get the copyright claim situation sorted out in non-conference play. I think we missed about 5 days in a row because of that. I was just waiting to hear back from YouTube to get that sorted out. You see Trev with the corner pocket rocket. And then we've had a couple days here and there where I've just taken time off with the 4th of July. And then I think there was 1 week where I was just way over on my hours. For the most part, this has been every night. I appreciate everybody who has followed along on this journey of ours. Looking forward to doing this once the season starts up. So I think I've talked about this a little bit as we see Evan driving, no good. Lever with the board. NMAG Athletic Archive posts the videos. I think it's usually around 24 hours after the game ends. And so as soon as the video is uploaded, I'm going to rewatch that game on a live stream. So that way it's really fresh on my mind. I can give you guys even more of like a breakdown of plays, because obviously I will have just covered the game like a day ago. So that's what we'll be doing during this season. And I think it's going to be a lot more exciting then, because I think y'all will want to watch it more because it'll be more fresh on y'all's minds. It's a big game, a controversial ending, this and that. You know, you guys can tune in and voice your thoughts on how it all played out while it's still fresh. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Because I didn't do that at the start of this season, we're going back and watching it this summer, and also just so we can have some content for you guys this summer. Because that's another big thing, is even though I am the Aggies basketball beat writer, I do have like high school football that I'm covering, and I'm starting to shift my focus to that with the season coming up. But I didn't want it to just be like, all right, I can flip the switch right now. I'm the high school football reporter. I'll turn that off and then I'll be basketball. Like, I want to have them both going at the same time. So that's why I've been trying to get some videos out for you guys this summer with Stray Shooter and the mailbag and all that good stuff. Jabari Rice going the other way, kicking it out to Terrell. You know, he wants it on that wing. This one no good. And yet another offensive rebound. Yvonne down low, the hook shot. The tip in by Jabari. And that one will not be interference. Good timing there. Makes it a 20-point game. Just a dominant performance so far by New Mexico State. Especially when you consider the fact that this really isn't one of their better shooting performances, you know? And it just looks like they're out hustling Grand Canyon by getting these extra opportunities. It's good timing by Jabari. It was definitely outside the circle there. Yeah, I wouldn't even say the Aggies are necessarily playing better than Grand Canyon on the offensive side of the ball. They're just playing harder right now, getting those extra opportunities and getting rewarded. 15:51 left in this contest. Let's see. So I am right here. I believe that might even be me. But yeah, so we're up here. This is the whole student section. And they were loud. I'll give them that. Even like right now when they're down 20, they were pretty loud during the breaks and all that. It's a pretty cool atmosphere. Even though I want to say with the attendance here, I think this one was, what do we say, like 7,100? It's pretty close to max capacity. This place doesn't hold a whole lot of people. But it is loud. I'll give them that. First free throw is up here. And that one is no good. This is Louis Bongai. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I rarely ever am, so I apologize in advance to Louis or Luis. Yvonne with the rebound there, 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. Now we got Sean Buchanan in the ball game here. Gets it to Jabari, to CJ. Yvonne down low, kicks it out. Shot clock winding down. Sean's going to have to put this one up, and he will. And that will be an air ball, a shot clock violation. You see Jan's not happy there with the time management. Not the look that you want there. Sean Buchanan hoisting it up with the shot clock winding down from 3. No disrespect to him. Alessandro Lever gets it down low here. Kick out to the big man. You can put the ball on the deck. He's got Yvonne guarding him. Good double team there. Didn't really see a whole lot of that in that first half, and that's why Lever had a pretty good performance. The help defense not nearly as good as it was in that first meeting. That's a good job there by CJ to force him to pick up that basketball. Again, you'll play the odds on that. Grand Canyon not having a whole lot of three-point shooters on the field, on the floor, outside of Carlos Johnson. You can cave in on Lever and just sort of take your chances, especially because both teams have been struggling from deep right now. Johnson, the mid-range pull-up. He's real good at that pull-up, but that one does not fall. Yvonne with the board. Jabari going the other way. 14-30 left in this contest. Still a 20-point lead for New Mexico State. They've been in control since the jump, getting out to that early 10-0 advantage. Never looking back. I think it got to as little as around 5. But for the most part, it's been the Aggies in the driver's seat. Three-point shot no good. Sean Buchanan with the board. He's going to take this one the other way. A little coast-to-coast action. Now he's going to pass this up to Yvonne. That double team doesn't come. He's taking it. Misses the shot there, but if you don't bring that double, Yvonne's taking it. I'm not mad at it. Blackshear, the kick out, and they're going to call it travel. Could have gone something right there, kind of kicking that ball, but that will be a turnover nonetheless. Look at good old Dan. Sean Buchanan with the basketball now. Okay, so now I'm messaging design, trying to get our print setup working. So again, apologies for being on the phone, guys. It's just right around now is usually where we're getting all the papers set up and stuff like that. And with my editor gone, I've got to do that. Sean Buchanan with the M1. You like to see it. Three-point play by Sean Buchanan. Converts on that, and it's a 23-point lead. Aggie's almost doubling up right now. On the road does not matter. Blackshear with the basketball. Feeding. Lever. And he's going to take this matchup on Johnny. Just the height advantage. Can't really get too good of a contest there. And you like to see that aggressiveness out of the Italian. I've been saying he's the Italian this whole time. I'm like 95% sure. Trev with the poster slam. That's the one. That's the one. AJ Harris. Yeah, that's the one that I remembered that I wish I would have gotten on video. Jeez. Safe to say he's back. Back to his old ways. Nice snatch back there. Oof. That's exactly what you got to do right after a big play. Mikey Dixon just ends any sort of momentum from that dunk by Trev. That's a nasty snatch back. On to Roe Brown nonetheless. Or no less. An all-whack defensive team selection. Sean Buchanan with the basketball, gets it to CJ. Trev with the ball here. Aggie's just slowing it down a bit and kind of put this one in cruise control as we see yet another layup by Sean. And that's 5 points for him. Dixon with the ball. Yeah, this is one of my breakout players for this upcoming season. I definitely want to do something like that once we get closer to the year. Sort of my breakout player predictions is we got Terrell. Trev almost with a putback slam. He will get that board and he'll get fouled. Just more hustle out of the Aggies than the Lopes. Yeah, that's dirty. 30. Yeah, I definitely want to put out like a breakout players predictions. I'll do the whole like the award predictions with WAC Player of the Year, first team, second team, defensive team, newcomer, all that stuff. As we see Frankie, I remember seeing this, and I was so confused when I saw this. It was the coolest thing. They had him up on the screen and everything. Um, yeah, Mikey definitely would be up there on my breakout player predictions. I think Quentin Johnson II is going to be up there as well. Had a really good freshman year with the Vaqueros. Now with Jordan Jackson gone, I think he's going to have a big year. Dixon with Carlos Johnson gone, I think is in for a big year. Yeah, there's a couple guys that I think will really step up. Speaking of which, Dixon with the 3-ball. This time it's an air ball. And it looked like stepped out of bounds there. I feel like that's somebody else I'm supposed to know, but I don't. Apologies if that's somebody that I should know. I don't know who that is. 24-point game right now. New Mexico State with the lead. That's no Frankie Muniz. As soon as I saw him, I was happy to see him. That was pretty cool. 54-30 right now is Will. Big Will's gonna go to the line. It was funny. I was talking to, or when I was interviewing Johnny for Stray Shooter last week. I showed him, for those who did see the video, there was that hometown heat thing where it's a huge tray of nachos. And we were talking about guys who could make the biggest dent in that on the team. And I was kind of expecting him to say Will because, he's the biggest guy on the team. But then he said Clayton Henry also, which kind of surprised me. I should have asked him more about that. I really didn't think about it until I was editing the video later. But Clayton Henry, Johnny said, would have been the third member of that nacho eating team, which is pretty interesting. Clayton is coming back, so I'll have to ask him at some point about that. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I really was struggling to find more places to show. So you see Trev getting poked in the eye there, it looks like. Because for those who follow Stray Shooter, the first one for Hometown Heat is normally like the weirdest food I can find in town. But I've already interviewed Bryce in Tennessee, and I'd show them the green chili sundae. So I didn't know what to show Johnny, and that's why I found that nacho thing. So you see Lever with the poster on Will. And I haven't been able to find a weird food for Sean Buchanan in Durant, Mississippi. I had to extend the range, first of all, just to Madison, Mississippi, because that's where he went to high school. And Durant is only about it's less than 3,000 people there, so there's not a lot of options. Will almost gets the poster right back. Trev, nice move. No good on the 3 though. But yeah, I can't find a weird food for Madison, Mississippi. So I'm a little sad about that. They're just going to be regular restaurants, unfortunately. You see Lever with the basketball here. The kick out on the 3. Hangs on the front rim and falls out. Let me plug in my my phone right now because it is at under 10%. Terrell Brown with the basketball here on the wing. He's going to pull up. No good on that. Cool. Got that plugged in. 9 minutes left. Good footwork down low. Yeah, the more I look at Lever, the more I feel like he could be the WAC Player of the Year this upcoming season. You definitely see him getting into that range of around close to 15 and 10. And I do expect Grand Canyon to be the second best team this upcoming season, so I think that might be enough to do it. We'll see, though. We'll see what happens. Just a good move. Good patience down low. A drop step. Still a lot of work to be done for the Lopes right now. Deep in the hole, 22-point deficit with 8:30 left in this one. A little bit of news for what's coming up this upcoming week. Tomorrow, Jason Groves has an article on Pirates pick and New Mexico State alum Nick Gonzalez's older brother, Daniel Gonzalez, who is stationed in Japan right now. And so we got an article coming out on that tomorrow, and then a video will be published tomorrow as well for that. And the video is just the unedited interview between Jason and Daniel. They got to do an interview on Zoom this past week. So we'll have that here on our YouTube channel and on lcsunnews.com if you guys want to check that out. Of course, Wednesday we'll have Stray Shooter. Thursday, Aggie Mailbag. We still have our live streams for both tomorrow and the next day. Tuesday will be the last day of this Aggie Rewind series. So we got plenty of video content coming out this week that I'm really excited for y'all to see. Evan knifing his way into the lane. The floater no good though. Good move, splitting the defense though. 20-point contest. 7:45. Yeah, we're really trying to get more video content out that isn't just New Mexico State basketball. Some good defense there by Terrell. We'll have more high school stuff, high school football once the season gets closer. It's just really hard to get a lot of content right now because there's pretty tight restrictions on us being able to go to the practices and all that. And the one feature I did on the Las Cruces running back, Armando Viescas, was just done over the phone, so it wasn't a Zoom thing. But we're going to try to get more high school football stuff for you guys. Hopefully they'll start to ease up on the media restrictions. We'll getting some college football as well. Jason's going to be doing a lot more interviews, feature work, and he's going to try to get Zoom interviews for that as well. So that's what we're working on, man. And then, of course, the basketball stuff, we'll still trying to keep that consistent for you all. Look at Lever. It's been a good performance for him so far. His offense hasn't been able to get a whole lot going, but he's been one of the exceptions. I should be just skipping past this, but I always end up talking and then I forget that there's like a little break here. But I feel like as soon as I do, it's just gonna start up. There we go. It's not that long of a video though. It's only an hour 15. So it's actually a really short game. Usually it's an hour 15 with all the stoppages taken out, but this one was pretty slow. Pretty quick. I mean, I think anything is quick compared to the last game against UTRGV with all the technicals and the stoppages to review. If it was like a flagrant or something like that. That video came out to like 2 hours long, which was just way too long for me to be sitting here and talking mostly to myself, you know. I say like an hour 15, an hour 30, that's right around what I like to keep these videos on. 20-point lead right now for the Aggies. Also because I ate dinner after these live streams over. So that last game against UTRGV, I was just dying to end the stream and go get some food. in addition to just getting some rest. 22-point lead, 6:25. Lever going at him. The reverse got it to go. Yeah, he's on a roll right now. He's feeling it. But just too deep of a hole right now for the Lopes to dig out of, it looks like. Especially with New Mexico State still owning the glass. Sean Buchanan going to dump it down low to Yvonne. He's going to put this one up. That's good straight up defense. And there's that extra opportunity we've been talking about all game. Jabari Rice with the putback. Again, percentage-wise, we see the and one there. Percentage-wise, I'd imagine there's not too much of a difference in terms of how these two teams are shooting. But it's just the sheer extra amount of shots. Aggies actually shot a worse percentage than the Lopes this game. But they had 26 more shot attempts. We'll get into that more with the when we look at the final box score, but 26 more shot attempts. It doesn't really matter what percentage you're shooting at that point. 26 more opportunities, you're going to win. You're going to win. Just out hustling. Makes up for what was a pretty poor shooting night for the Aggies. Especially because those makes that they had, a lot of them are those putbacks, which are a really good opportunity. For the most part, they're missing these deep threes, these 3-point shots, all that kind of stuff. They are dominating the glass right now. Sean Buchanan, they're saying that ball got poked loose. So that's why it's sticking with the Aggies. 5:10 left. Jabari Rice lining up his shots and knocking it down. And yeah, this one is all but over, folks. New Mexico State about to improve to 14-0 in WAC play. Tomorrow's game will be against Cal State Bakersfield. Johnny tries the tip pass there, but it's a turnover. Cal State Bakersfield tomorrow on the road. And then Cal Baptist, the season finale, next day, so on Tuesday. Hopefully you guys join me for both of those. And unfortunately, that's it after that. We didn't get any tournament games for either the conference or the NCAA, so that is all she wrote once we get done on Tuesday. I don't have anything planned for starting a new series. I'm already done the video game version and the real life version. So I can't think of anything else to go back and watch, to be honest with you. The only thing I was considering doing, as you see Jabari driving, no good. The only thing I was considering doing was kind of putting together highlights for one player and just going back and watching them. Just like one per episode. But the thing is that I already do that with that player for Straight Shooter, where we break down his plays. And I mean, I guess I could make it like a longer version, you know. But I don't want that to take away from the Straight Shooter segment where we already do that. Like, I don't want to go over a play that you guys have already seen because you've watched that episode. You know what I mean? So I don't think I'm going to do that, and I really can't think of any other series that I could do. I can do like little things here and there, like the top 10 plays of this past season. I can do that. You know, I could do the not top 10, which would be pretty funny. What else could I do? Just like little things like that, but there's not any series that I have left that I'm thinking about doing. Which is fine, because like Straight Shooter is still going to be going on for a long time, as we see Sean Williams with a 3 ball. I'm trying to get like 20 episodes of Straight Shooter. I'm only 8 in. So that'll keep going. Aggie mailbag, as long as you guys keep sending me questions, I'll keep that going as well. It just won't be a nightly thing, you know, like this stuff. It'll be a weekly thing. but there'll be multiple things per week. So yeah, I think that's about the best I can do with not anything new to cover. I think that I've been doing a good job of trying to make the most out of it. At least I hope so. Sean Williams with the mid-range shot makes it a 24-point game with 3:40 left. Because at the end of the day, from what I've seen for USA Today, like, nobody else is doing nightly things or multiple web series and stuff like that. So I like to think that we're doing a good job of bringing you guys as much content as we can right now during this dead period, which is what it is. It's a dead period. But definitely, if you guys have any suggestions for a new series or just even a new one-off video, like the top 10 plays or whatever, if you guys have any ideas, I'm more than happy to listen to them and possibly run with it. So let me know. The tattoo tours thing is like another one I've been thinking of doing, which could be like, I guess, sort of a series. It would just be something I do maybe once every other week or something like that, just depending on whichever players want to do it. It would just be very hard with like via Zoom interview, because a lot of these guys, my camera quality already isn't very great, and I actually had to pay to get an extra camera. I can't think of anyone that I've interviewed so far that's done anything more than just their laptop, or if not their phone. So I don't know if the camera quality would be good enough to do like a real tattoo tours and stuff like that. And so for that reason, I kind of want to wait until the season starts, where you can bring our actual photographer for the paper, and he'll bring a camera and we can get really good shots of everything. So even then, I don't think we'll do that during the summer. Yeah, that's just what's coming to mind, but if you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. So we got a 20-point game right now with 2:35 left. Aggies on their way to going to 14-0 in conference play. This one really wasn't close from the start. Got a quick double-digit lead, and it's pretty much stayed that way for the quote-unquote rivalry. Once this game is over, we will look up the final box score, quotes from the team, and since I did go to this game, we talked to multiple guys. We talked to Trev for sure, and I want to say we talked to Sean Buchanan after the game. You guys know I'm always wrong because I've covered all these games, so it's very hard to remember who I talked to for which specific game. I know for sure we talked to Trev. I remember that, and I want to say it was Sean for the other person, but we'll look at that once this is over. We'll look up my final score prediction to see how close I was, all that good stuff, so stay tuned for that. You see, this is that aggression that I think I really want to see more out of Will this upcoming season. Just have the confidence to go up there. You've got the look. There's no need to kick it out to Terrell there, but I think that's just, when you're the young guy on the squad and you've got so many shooters on the team, it's very hard to be selfish, to get that confidence to be selfish, And so he kicked it out there, I think, just kind of instinctively. But I want to see him calling for it this upcoming season. He's going to have the mismatches down low. I want to see him throwing it down instead of going off the glass, stuff like that. It's just something I want to see more of. And you see Buchanan's clapping there because he likes that Will's at least taking that shot. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you want to see. That's the only way you're going to get better. .121 left in this contest. Let me start pulling up these articles. We can have that squared away, because you guys know it always takes me forever to find these articles. with our search engine, which is not the best on our site, unfortunately. I had this game as 75-69 New Mexico State, so way off. I thought it would be a lot closer. The 75, not that off for New Mexico State because I think they're going to get around there. But I was a little overconfident in Grand Canyon. Gave them too many points. Let's look at the recap article so I can find who we talked to. We got to talk to Jabari Rice. No. Wait, what? This is... No, okay. I was very confused right now. That was the home game, okay. It was like, I know for sure we talked to Trev. Yeah, we talked to Jans, Buchanan, and Trev. Cool. Cool. So we will look up that once this is over, and we'll look up the final box score, which I'm gonna pull up right now so we can have that all set. Looks like we're good to go. 60 seconds left. 18-point lead for New Mexico State. Sean Williams, 3-ball, no good. Yeah, this is one of those games where I was very happy because I could write the story, or like I had the story done already. It was just a matter of putting in the final score. And I had this story done a couple minutes into the second half, you know, because I do have a very short deadline for print. It's usually 5 minutes after the game's over. So this one I was not stressing for once, which is very nice. It's always very nice. The Aggies made it easy on me for this one, so much appreciated. 45 seconds left. 16-point game. I was going to say, don't foul. Let's just keep this clock running. Sean Buchanan, he's going to sit on this one for a little bit. Or go on the attack. Sean Williams, way off in that 3-ball. Just couldn't find their touch from deep this entire game, but the second chances made up for it. That's Dixon there with the floater. And now they will sit on this basketball and end it. Stephen M says hello to all. Appreciate you tuning in, Stephen. We're just about to wrap this up, but we're going to look at the final box score. Quotes from the team, all that jazz. So let's go ahead and get that done right now. Alright, so our stats on this one. Ivan Adekoechea with, he stayed put at 8 points, but he did get his way up to 7 rebounds, 4 of which were offensive rebounds, 4 for 11 shooting. Not bad out of him. Jabari Rice, though, leading the way for the Aggies. 16 points, 9 rebounds, 1 shy of a double-double. He's been getting to that ballpark as of late, so really crashing the glass well. Everybody crashed the glass well this game. So 16 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists on 7 for 14 shooting for the redshirt sophomore, and then 14 points for Trevelyan Queen. His I'm back type of performance. I think you guys know that he's getting up there to full strength. 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of which were offensive rebounds, and then 1 dime for good measure on 5 for 2 shooting. 8 turnovers for New Mexico State, which is pretty good as long as you keep it in single digits. I'm not mad at it. 26 for 71 shooting, so 36.6%. 71 field goal attempts compared to Grand Canyon's 45. Ridiculous. 5 for 28 shooting from deep, only 17.9%. I'd imagine that's their worst shooting performance from deep of the season. And then a perfect 10 for 10 from the charity stripe. But the big stat there, 25 offensive rebounds for New Mexico State, 26 total rebounds for Grand Canyon. So almost as many offensive rebounds as they had total. At that point, it doesn't matter how you're shooting. If you're getting that many extra looks, you're going to win that game. Grand Canyon, Alessandro Lever, no surprise there, 17 points, 2 rebounds on 8 for 11 shooting. He really was having his way down low. 12 points for Isaiah Brown with 3 boards and 3 dimes on 4 for 11 shooting. And then a good job defending Carlos Johnson. Good job to Terrell Brown, Jabari Rice, all those guys. Just 2 for 9 shooting, 5 points for him, and 2 turnovers as well. In total, the Lopes had 12 turnovers. They shot 20 for 45, which is 44.4% from the floor. Not bad, but just not as many shot attempts. 3 for 15 from deep. They also struggled from distance, it's 20%. And then 10 for 17 from the charity stripe. Didn't quite take advantage at the line. That's 58.8%. Let's go in and check out quotes from the team. We got to talk to Coach Jans. Here's him talking about the big thing, the offensive boards. He said, we really hadn't had that rebounding prowess, especially in the WAC. We need to get that rebounding edge back because it makes us more of a dynamic team and it allows you to win games when you don't shoot the ball very well. Yeah, pretty much exactly what I was saying, that they had a lot of games in WAC play where they'd had single-digit offensive rebounds, and that's something that Jans had talked about a lot. After a lot of games, during a lot of press conferences during the week, stuff like that. Just being aggressive on the glass, getting second opportunities, so big for them because they did have their inconsistencies shooting-wise this season also, and getting those extra opportunities really can make up for that, and it did in this game. Here's Sean Buchanan talking about beating Grand Canyon on the road. Now, the reason why we asked him this specific question is because after the UTRGV game, he was asked how much he was looking forward to playing the Lopes, and he said that he was looking forward to humbling them because he felt they were a little arrogant. So this is him talking about beating Grand Canyon. He said, we love playing in tough environments and loud environments, and it was a good one tonight. It was very loud, and we tried to go out and put an end to it, which they definitely did in this one. And then Trevel and Queen talking about how his knee is feeling right now because he is still recovering. However, this was a great performance for him. He said, it's good right now, but I know after or tomorrow I'm going to feel it. But right now it feels good. Guys, I think that is going to do it, though, for this live stream. We have 2 more episodes of this Aggie Rewind series left tomorrow night. Cal State Bakersfield on the road, trying to improve the 15-0 in conference play. And then Tuesday night at 6 p.m. will be the finale, the big one, history on the line, Aggies versus Cal Baptist at the Pan American Center. Senior night for so many of these Aggies players. I'm looking forward to that, but I hope that you guys join me for both of them. For now, though, that is going to do it. Tomorrow, I will start collecting questions for Aggie Mailbag on my Twitter at JTheSportsDude, my email jmmartinez@gannett.com, Aggie Alert, and then the Las Cruces Sunday Sports page. I hope that you guys will participate in that. Sending in multiple questions because I am trying to get enough questions for 2 weeks worth, so that way I can release something the following week while I'm on vacation. If I get enough questions, I will do that for you guys, but if not, I'll just have the straight shooter episode for you guys. But yeah, other than that, I think that is it. Tomorrow will be that live stream and also the article on Daniel Gonzalez, Nick Gonzalez's older brother who's stationed in Japan. That'll be going up on lcsunnews.com. The video, which is the unedited interview between Jason Groves and Daniel, the Zoom interview, will also be posted on our YouTube channel tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, but if you guys turn on post notification bells, you can get notified whenever it's online. But I think that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this live stream, please leave a like, subscribe, turn on post notification bells, as I was saying. And I think that's going to do it. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. This has been Justin Martinez, a.k.a. Jay the Sports Dude, and I'm out.